Hi, it's Cara here from Access Recruitment, and today I'm going to take you through how the Early Pay app looks and feels so you have a full sight of not only how you will interact with it, but really just how simple it can be for your candidates and temps. I will also show you how it links into Access Pay and Bill, but more importantly how the two can seamlessly work together to fully integrate, from timesheet approval to employee drawdown, and it showing clearly on a worker's respective payslip for that week. Okay, so let's start our journey in the Early Pay admin console, which can be accessed via your workspace login. Once your agency is live with Early Pay, this will be populated with worker, payroll and timesheet data directly from Pay and Bill. The timesheet data will be used to calculate the worker's accrued income from validated timesheets, from which they will be able to draw down funds from, but we will get to that in a moment. To configure Early Pay drawdown options, all you will need to do is decide the thresholds and money you want to make available to your workers. You can set both a percentage and a cash amount threshold. The system will then pick the lower of the two and ensure you are comfortable with the amount of pay you are making available to your workers. There is also an option to add an agency admin fee to withdrawals, which can create an additional revenue stream which is automatically accounted for in your company ledger. After you've done this, you can invite workers to start using the Early Pay app. We've invited Jake Wilson, so we'll use him as our example for the next steps. The invite Jake received would look like this. So now let's take a look at how workers will be able to access their pay on demand when they need it, making registering and working for you a much more appealing option. Firstly, we need to look at how Early Pay is able to make the accrued pay available to workers. So we are going to say that Jake has been placed for one of our clients and has worked and logged timesheet hours. The timesheet has since been entered into Access Pay and Bill. We can see some of the timesheets here. Once the timesheet has been processed through batch timesheet validation to ensure it is correct and we know Jake has actually worked those hours, the calculation can be made and funds made available. To access his accrued pay, Jake will go to the App Store or Google Play to download the app on his phone. Once he has downloaded the Early Pay app, he will be able to log in with the code sent to him in his invitation email. So now let me share my phone screen to show you what it will look like for Jake and how quick it is for him to access the pay potentially for the hours just worked and approved on his timesheet. So if I log into my Early Pay app, I can see a balance of this amount for Jake, which is 50% of his accrued earnings. As Jake, if I was unsure why it was this amount, I can click here where it will tell me more. Jake has decided he would like to withdraw £100 of the amount available, so I will hit Get Paid Now, select the amount and confirm when I will enter my passcode setup, use Face or Fingerprint ID. Once the money goes into Jake's bank account, he will receive a message to notify him of this, generally taking as little as 10 seconds. The money has just got into Jake's bank account and has actually come from Access to ensure this does not affect your cash flow or any reporting or invoice factoring. Jake can also track his own transactions in the app, what he has withdrawn and when. So effectively, this gives your worker not only full control of their pay, but the ability to truly manage their finances however they need to. The advance of Jake's pay will be reflected on his payslip accordingly. But to make sure this happens, Pay and Bill now steps in again to manage the deduction. We saw Jake make a withdrawal in the app. From this action, Early Pay will send a message back to Pay and Bill. It will then create the withdrawal and transaction fee deduction automatically when the final main calculation is run prior to printing or emailing the payslip. The deduction will then show on Jake's payslip like so. This process in Pay and Bill can be made even more automated when using our automation layer to process all functions discussed so far for you. The transaction history is also available back in the Early Pay admin console where we started. Hopefully this has given you an insight into how automated this process can be when integrated with Access Pay and Bill, but has also shown you key benefits such as workers being more willing to work as they can actually access pay potentially straight after a shift, which will also make it easier hopefully for consultants to fill those shifts. However, to put this in place and facilitate this as an option, to hopefully really make you stand out as an agency, you will not need an army of people to do so, or hopefully process any further ad hoc pay runs to reduce your admin burden and minimise costs to you.